Today, we will go over two mind-boggling stories in which people unfortunately suffered a sudden and tragic fate. In the 1990s, Estefanía Gutiérrez was an ordinary teenager living in a city called Vallecas in Madrid. She was a bright and lively girl with aspirations of one day becoming a nurse. Her family described her as kind, optimistic, and devoted to her younger siblings. But Estefania's life took a dark turn after an innocent attempt to delve into the supernatural. In the summer of 1990, Estefania and her friends decided to experiment and play with the Ouija board at school. It was meant to be harmless fun, spurred by youthful curiosity. They started playing, and everything was going great until one of the school teachers noticed what they were doing and quickly went over to the group of students to break it up and have them stop playing. The teacher went a little overboard and even broke the Ouija board to ensure they didn't play anymore. Things took a sinister turn once this happened. Some of the students claimed to have seen a strange, dark mist emerge from the broken board, which subsequently Estefania inhaled. Once this happened, Estefania started coughing violently and felt sick, with the air in the room turning unnaturally cold. Shortly after this incident, Estefania began experiencing terrifying symptoms. Some of these were, as she recounted to her parents, that she was hearing voices whispering her name and she was seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corners of her bedroom. Her nights were plagued by seizures and episodes of sleep paralysis, during which she would scream about being suffocated by invisible forces. Estefania's parents took her to the doctors to see if they could figure out what could be going on with her daughter. However, doctors were baffled. Despite many thorough tests, they found no medical explanation for her condition. So, as the weeks turned into months, Estefania's health deteriorated. Her once vibrant demeanor was replaced by exhaustion and fear. She once again confided in her parents and told them that the shadowy figures were becoming more and more aggressive. They would sometimes stand over her as she slept. At the same time, and if it wasn't enough already, the family too began to feel the oppressive presence in their home. Doors slammed shut without reason, and objects moved on their own. The air in the house grew thick with unease. In the early hours of August 14, 1991, Estefania was up in her bedroom when she let out a blood-curdling scream in her sleep. When her parents rushed to her side, they found her convulsing violently. Her eyes were rolled back and she was just gasping for air. They quickly rushed her to the hospital, but unfortunately, it was too late. At just 18 years of age, Estefania tragically and unexpectedly passed away. Her official cause of death was recorded as sudden and mysterious pulmonary asphyxia, although no clear reason was ever determined as to why this may have happened. Just after Estefania's death, the strange occurrences in the family's home escalated more and more while the days passed. The family reported hearing Estefania's laughter echoing through the halls, and even saw one of her photographs spontaneously catch fire without leaving burn marks on the surrounding frame. Police were eventually called to the house, and even they documented unexplained phenomena. including loud bangs, cold spots or sections throughout the house, and a dark figure lurking around the house. The police, although their investigation found many of the claimed occurrences to be true and verified, they were unable to help the family beyond, to the point that Estefania's family couldn't take this any longer and decided to move, leaving everything behind. Estefania's tragic story remains one of the most chilling supernatural cases in Spain's history. It was a warm summer evening on July 9, 1993. In the heart of Toronto's financial district, the sun was beginning its slow descent behind the skyscrapers, casting golden reflections across the mirrored surfaces of the city's high-rise buildings. Inside the Toronto Dominion Center, on the 24th floor of his firm's office, Gary Hoyt, a respected and well-liked corporate lawyer, stood before a group of visiting law students eager to impress. Gary was famously known for his bold and eccentric way of demonstrating the strength of the building's windows. He really did not have a reason for doing this. It was mostly a party trick of sorts, one he had performed countless times before. With unwavering confidence, he assured the students that the thick, shatter-resistant glass was unbreakable. To prove his point, he took a few steps back, inhaled sharply, and threw his full weight against the window. As expected, the glass held firmly and absorbed the impact without so much as a crack. By now, a wave of laughter and murmurs of amusement filled the room, from all of the visiting law students. Encouraged by the reaction, Gary decided to do it again. One final demonstration of the building's engineering marvel. This time, however, he took a few extra steps back, in order to launch himself at the window with even more force. He raced across the room towards the building's glass and hit it full force as he intended to. A split second later, the room fell silent with disbelief. The glass, true to its design, did not break. However, in a cruel twist of fate, the entire window pane dislodged from its frame. The aspiring law students watched in horror as Gary Hoyt plummeted down from the window of the Toronto Dominion Center building. 24 stories later, Gary met the pavement. The students, frozen in shock, could only stare at the gaping hole where their host had stood just moments before. Paramedics were called and quickly arrived at the scene, but there was nothing they could do. Gary had died instantly upon impact. After the investigation concluded, an engineer would confirm what had happened. The glass itself had been strong, but the window's frame had not been properly secured, and Gary's repeated impact had loosened it beyond its limit. Gary's death was reported worldwide, bizarre, tragic, and darkly ironic. A man so determined to prove the window was unbreakable had inadvertently discovered the fatal flaw in the very structure he trusted. Today, Gary Hoyt's story lives on, a cautionary tale of overconfidence and unintended consequences. A reminder that sometimes even the most solid things can give way beneath us. Gary Hoyt's death is one of those stories that seem too surreal to be true. A tragic blend of confidence, irony, and sheer misfortune. If you are still here, Many thanks for watching, and again, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future content. As you can see, this channel is just starting out, so please feel free to comment below with any suggestions or recommendations that you may have. I hope to see you at the next one.